So CNN was doing a story on Dylan Mulvaney, and there's a correspondent by the name of Ryan Young, who you can tell from the clip, did not even realize he was barreling face first into one of the hot button issues of the culture war. But he did. Here is his original sin. Watch.
One bar was telling us basically they're not going to serve it because they don't like the way Dylan Mulvaney was treated after this whole controversy started. He, of course, is the transgender person they were going to sponsor and go along with Bud Light. They didn't like how Bud Light didn't stand by him after all this.
He used him. He used Dylan's actual pronouns instead of the preferred pronouns. And you can see the guy, you can see he has no idea he's doing anything wrong. You know, he's probably not immersed in the culture wars. I don't know what his normal beat is, but it took 24 hours, not even, for CNN to then do this. Stop 15.
Yesterday, in a segment about transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney, who was featured in Bud Light's recent campaign, she was mistakenly referred to by the wrong pronoun. And CNN aims to honor individuals' ways of identifying themselves, and we apologize for that error.
Really? What are they going to do when the Z pronoun takes over? Because that's getting bigger. Zay is upset about the backlash over Bud Light. CNN's not going to do that. There's only so far you can take it. And I'll say this to you, Michael. As you know, I only recently came to switching on the pronouns, to rejecting the preferred pronouns. And once you switch back to actual, biological pronouns, it's jarring to hear it said the other way, right? Yeah. It's like, when I hear her say she, I'm like, who is she referring to? It's amazing once you allow yourself to just slip back into reality, how jarring the pretend world sounds to you.
Well, this is why the left focuses so much on language. I wrote a whole book on this called Speechless: Controlling Words, Controlling Minds. I sometimes fall into these errors too, because if you in any way use the language of people who are trying to deceive you, you will deceive yourself. Language is what constitutes so much of our consciousness. What was so wonderful about this, though, is that it happened on CNN rather than on a right-wing network. Because when you and I refer to men as men, not as women if they pretend to be women, we're doing so intentionally. We're disciplining our intellect and we're making a point about reality and speaking the truth as far as we see it. That's not what this guy was doing. This guy is just a normal guy. He's a news presenter who just reports on the news. And so you can tell he's on a liberal network. He seems like a kind of a liberal guy in the way that he's talking about transgenderism. And so I don't think he meant to give any offense or transgress any of these ever-changing rules. He just, being normal, knows that Dylan Mulvaney is a man. And so